Statement from the Confederation of Sahel States, AES, regarding the violation of confederal airspace. The Confederation of Sahel States informs the public that an aircraft belonging to the Air Force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a C-130 type aircraft, was forced to land today, December 8, 2025, in Bobo-Dioulasso, Burkina Faso, following an in-flight emergency while it was operating in Burkinabe airspace. The military plane had on board 2 crew members and 9 passengers, all of whom were military personnel. An investigation was immediately launched by the competent Burkinabe authorities, which revealed that there was no authorization for this aircraft to fly over Burkinabe territory. By this military aircraft, the Confederation of Sahel States strongly condemns this violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. In response to this unfriendly act, carried out in disregard of international law and international civil and/or military aviation regulations, measures have been taken to ensure the security of the Confederation's airspace, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of its member states, as well as the safety of the populations of the AES Confederation. In this regard, and on the instructions of the heads of state, the air and anti-air defenses of the Confederation's airspace have been placed on maximum alert in accordance with the declaration of the College of Heads of State dated December 22, 2024. They have been authorized to neutralize any aircraft that violates the Confederation's airspace. Done at Bamako, December 8, 2025, signed General of the Army Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition, Head of State of the Republic of Mali, President of the Confederation of Sahel States, AES.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, for staying with us.
Good evening. We have some. Thank you very much. Statement from the Confederation of Sahel States, AES, regarding the violation of the Confederation's airspace. The Confederation of Sahel States informs the public that an aircraft belonging to the Air Force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a C-130 type, was forced to land today, December 8, 2025, in Bobo-Dioulasso, Burkina Faso. This followed an in-flight emergency situation while it was flying in Burkinabe airspace. The military aircraft was carrying 2 crew members and 9 passengers, all of whom were military personnel. An investigation was immediately launched by the competent Burkinabe authorities, and it revealed that there was no authorization for the aircraft to fly over Burkinabe territory by this military aircraft. The Confederation of Sahel States strongly condemns this violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. In response to this unfriendly act, carried out in disregard of international law and international civil and/or military aviation regulations, measures have been taken to ensure the security of the Confederation's airspace as well as the sovereignty and territorial integrity of its member states, as well as the safety of the populations of the AES Confederation. In this regard, and on the instructions of the heads of state, the air and anti-air defenses of the Confederation's airspace have been placed on maximum alert. In accordance with the declaration of the College of Heads of State dated December 22, 2024, authorization has been given to neutralize any aircraft that violates Confederation airspace. Done in Bamako on December 8, 2025, Army General Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition, Head of State of the Republic of Mali, President of the Confederation of Sahel States. Thank you.
Very well, Mr. Minister.
West Africa has just been shaken. A Nigerian military jet forced to land in Burkina Faso, a sovereign country standing up and saying, enough. This isn't just an airspace violation. It's a wake-up call. Something deeper is brewing beneath the surface, and Africa must pay attention. In this video, we expose the full story behind this escalating tension, the silent hand of France behind the scenes, and what this moment means for the future of our continent. This is not fear-mongering. This is clarity, power, and truth. This is Make Africa Great, where we speak for the future of Africa, with courage and with purpose. On a tense Monday morning, Burkina Faso's Air Defense Command ordered a Nigerian Air Force C-130 to land after it allegedly entered Burkinabe airspace without proper clearance. The aircraft, carrying 11 soldiers, was intercepted and grounded, an unprecedented move between two African nations. According to Burkina Faso's official news agency, this was not a mistake. It was labeled a grave breach of sovereignty. The Confederation of Sahel States, made up of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, immediately released a stern statement, warning against future military violations. Behind the scenes, reports emerged that Nigeria had sent military personnel to assist Benin, which had requested help to suppress internal unrest. But here's the twist. Nigeria's constitution doesn't allow such a move without Senate approval, unless there's a direct threat to Nigeria's own security. No such threat was present. This incident isn't just about a plane, it's about power. The Sahel Alliance is rising, declaring its independence from ECOWAS, from foreign influence, and from what they see as Western puppetry. Burkina Faso's actions are part of a larger stand, a stand for sovereignty. On the other side, ECOWAS, largely led by Nigeria, is still under pressure from Western powers, especially France, to maintain regional control. Some experts argue that France is manipulating ECOWAS nations to suppress the growing independence of the Sahel bloc. Africa finds itself split, not by its people, but by strategic interests. This is the silent war for Africa's future. And while governments clash, the people must understand what's really happening. Let's be honest. France has a long history in West Africa, colonial, economic, and military. And today, many African nations are waking up to the cost of that relationship. Recent years have seen Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso expel French troops, close French bases, and cut military ties. Now, according to political analysts, France is allegedly pressuring Nigeria to act as a regional enforcer, using its military strength to neutralize threats to French influence. The incident in Benin and Burkina Faso may just be the latest sign of this dangerous game. If President Tinubu continues to listen to Macron without clear national interest, Nigeria may find itself fighting a war not for Africa, but for France. And that would be a tragedy. This is bigger than Burkina Faso, bigger than Nigeria. What we're seeing is a regional reset. African nations are beginning to challenge the old systems of control, both external and internal. The people are demanding sovereignty, transparency, unity. We want African solutions to African problems, not foreign interference disguised as help. The youth are watching, the world is watching. What leaders choose now will define our future. Will they choose short-term deals in silence? Or will they stand for Africa, by Africa, with Africa? This is a chance, not for war, but for wisdom, for dialogue, for realignment on African terms. West Africa is standing at a crossroads. What happened between Nigeria and Burkina Faso must not be ignored. It's a lesson, a warning, and a moment for deep reflection. African nations must stop allowing foreign powers to dictate our conflicts and solutions. We must unite, not fight. We must build, not break. If you're watching this, you are part of the new Africa. The Africa that questions, that learns, and that leads. Share this video. Let others know what the media won't say. Subscribe to make Africa great, because our continent deserves greatness. Africa first, Africa strong, Africa united.
Yeah, greetings and welcome everyone, family, brothers and sisters. The tension has risen between Nigeria and the alliance of Sahel states after Nigerian military plane forced to land in Burkina Faso due to the violation of airspace of the alliance of Sahel states. According to the alliance of Sahel states, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, the aircraft was flying through Burkina Faso's airspace without authorization, and they were forced to land on Burkina Faso. So let us look at this situation. We had crisis in Benin 2 days ago on the issue of military coup, and that tension now has moved to the alliance of Sahel states in Nigeria. As Africans, what how are we interpreting this situation? And few hours, within 2 hours after the announcement of military coup by a group of soldiers on national television in Benin, Nigeria deployed aircraft and started bombing some camps in Benin. Within 2 hours. But we have been here for more than decades seeing instability in Nigeria. But Nigeria has a standby force to be deployed within 2 hours to fight Benin. Others said that was not Nigeria. That was instructions from police to Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that go to Benin and intervene militarily. So don't we as Africans see this is the tactic being used by France? It's France who sent Nigeria to bomb and to restore what they call democratic government in Benin, then come back to Burkina Faso, violate. Then if they will maybe shoot down your plane, we'll start a war between you, Nigeria, and the alliance of Sahel states. And France behind will back up Nigeria. So sometimes African leaders, if it's true, African leaders are being used. And sometimes they work more properly to save the interest of the West than the interest of their people. Because it doesn't make sense that Nigeria can deploy aircraft in Benin within 2 hours, but Nigeria cannot fight terrorists. How is it possible? How is it possible? But if you look very keenly in this issue, you will find that there are some external power trying to find the source to fight the alliance of Sahel states. Nigeria is just the front page, but behind there's someone who is France. You know, you have to speak loudly without fear. France is behind all of these things. And after that military coup, France feared to lose everything. And that's why they used Nigeria immediately to deploy aircraft and starting bombing without even getting permission from the Senate of Nigeria, because the rules are saying the Senate will allow the president to deploy or to intervene militarily. But at that time, Nigerian presidents decided without the Senate, and the Senate will be told later. You see? So as Africans, we need to talk. We need to talk to each other. We need to make sure that we see how we can engage each other. Because what Nigeria is doing, if it's true, it's not okay. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Nigeria maybe should be a country that will engage other countries and calling them to unite. But it's Nigeria that is threatening to bomb and sometimes to attack other countries. Remember what happened to Niger. It's Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, who was the head of ECOWAS, said ECOWAS will deploy standby force in Niger. But when Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso came together and united and said, if you touch one of us, you're touching all of us, they silenced. They stopped what they planned. You see? So, for me, I think this is a trap to bring Africa into conflict. This is a trap. This is a trap. And Nigerian president is being used. We know that Nigerian president is the best friend of Macron. And we know very well the relationship between Macron and the alliance of Sahel states. So they're using these neighboring countries. And that's why we are saying division is dangerous in the continent of Africa. One thing that others win in Africa is because of division. We are so divided in such a way we cannot even talk to each other. So, family, brothers and sisters, after that, let me wait to hear from you. But that's what happened in the alliance of Sahel states and Nigeria. There's a tension between Nigeria and the alliance of Sahel states. So, if we are not careful, we are going to witness the escalation between Nigeria, ECOWAS, as well as the alliance of Sahel states. So let us come together, let us unite. I'm waiting to hear more from you. Thank you.